We need to focus on what we can do to protect ourselves.
Students are back in the classroom this week, but with less restrictions in place this time around, are kids more susceptible to illness? In August, Manitoba health officials said Winnipeg saw a spike in hand, foot, and mouth disease cases in children. Pediatrician Dr. Marnie Hanna says it's still spreading rapidly, but also pointed out that more children have experienced respiratory illnesses throughout the summer. Hanna says these diseases and flus could spike as the winter months approach.
This is the first time for a long time that we've been going back with, no masking in place, and a lot of kids, there's been a lot more viral infections this summer than we're used to seeing. It's been pretty busy. It didn't calm down like we normally see.
But despite the possibility of these spikes, Hannah says she's fully in favor of sending kids back to school.
I don't think there's any rule for keeping them at home or doing remote learning anymore. They need to be at school.
Staffing shortages have plagued hospitals across the country throughout the pandemic. Dr. Jared Bullard from the Health Sciences Center says they are working hard to bring more staff in as they are preparing for the possibility of more kids going to the hospital due to respiratory illnesses.
A lot of the time, even when we had a kid admitted to the hospital and we said, oh, they have COVID, we found that a lot of them also had something else. So they had RSV or influenza or the viruses that typically would put them in hospital as well. Now that we're going into the new school year and you're going to have all of these kids together in close proximity, are they going to be spreading viruses? We do expect that.
Each child care facility, whether it be a daycare or classroom in the province, is operating under their own protocols or policies. Jody Kale from the Manitoba Child Care Association says she worries this will become confusing for families.
For one facility, the first sign of a runny nose, children are being asked to stay home. For others, it's a fever. For others, it's really, unless a child's tested positive for COVID, they're welcome to attend. And so for a family, that could be confusing and slightly perhaps frustrating at times.
Hannah says it's important for parents to take precautions to protect their children, but to keep perspective.
This is likely going to be a pretty busy flu season. We're going to see more COVID. It's going to happen, but just focus on what you can do to protect your children and try not to get too anxious about it.
In Winnipeg, Alex Karpa, City News.